Hello, ladies. Welcome to my page. If you haven't been here before, my name is Tamara Carter. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I am also a certified menopause coaching specialist. So, I say menopause, but also perimenopause. So, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about perimenopause because we spend that is usually about when we start feeling symptoms. So perimenopause is basically the transition before menopause. And it can last for 10 years or more. This can start in our mid 30s and last into our mid 40s. It could even last into our mid 50s. It just depends. And because it's kind of a slow progression or a slow decline of our sex hormones, the estrogens and progestins, is it's a slow decline, and so your symptoms may not just appear consistently. Usually, you'll notice a change in your menstrual cycle, especially if you're regular. Like for me, I had a menstrual cycle of 26 days. I mean, I was very regular. I could count 26 days and I knew the exact day that I was going to come on. Every once in a while, it may stretch to 28 days, but usually 26 to 28 days, I knew exactly, when I was going to come on. And so you start seeing that decline. So what may happen is it may stretch out to 35 days, 45 days. And so you'll consistently see that happen usually. So then it may be 45. Then you may go months. I just had a friend, she said she went 3 or 4 months without a period and then boom, it came. So it can be that. You also may notice some mental decline. A lot of us refer to that as brain fog. You just get forgetful. I know for me, sometimes I have a hard time finding words. And it can be simple words, and I'll be searching for the word that I'm trying to say. It's because estrogen is in our brain. And as it declines, then our brain is not going to be fully functioning like it normally does. So it's real important. And, there are like every day, I wouldn't say every day, but they're constantly finding more and more symptoms of perimenopause. It used to be like brain fog, hot flashes, you could have depression, you could have anxiety, you could have joint pain, a lot of GI issues. And when I say GI issues, you may notice that it's starting to slow down. So you may start noticing that you're not going as regular as you used to. You may start experiencing heartburn because it's slowing down, so things are backing up. Excuse me. You can even also have cold flashes. I get those too because just think about it. So, our hot flashes, our hypothalamus, which is like our regulator of our temperature, for whatever reason thinks we're hot, even though we ain't doing nothing. You can just be sitting there minding your business. And it thinks that you're hot. And I ain't talking about hot, okay? I mean body temperature wise. And so what does it do? It dilate those vessels that's closer to your skin because that's how you release heat. You sweat, right? And it's kind of like, if you're working out or whatever, our bodies don't want to, we can't get overheated. It's dangerous. So it's trying to help us out, but it's like miscommunication. We're not overheated. And sometimes this can happen through the day or it can happen at night where you have night sweats. It wake you up out of your sleep. And these hot flashes can also be accompanied with palpitations, feeling faint, anxiety. So, it can be accompanied with that. So if let's say you can be in your early 30s, but let's just say you're noticing that. I'm gonna tell you what happened with me is I didn't know how to explain it. I just didn't feel like myself. Sorry for the glare on my glasses, but I did not feel like myself. I couldn't put my hand on it. Having these, I call them brain blocks. It was like nothing can get in and nothing can come out. I started feeling, I would just be sitting there and then I just feel extreme sadness, like I wanted to cry. Started feeling withdrawn. Didn't want to be around people. And anybody that know me, I'm a people person. It can affect your sex drive, where you don't want to have sex, you don't want to be touched. It can, and it can cause vaginal dryness. Now, some of the symptoms that we have, in fact, if we get any changes like that, it's important to go see your provider because it doesn't necessarily mean it's perimenopause. But I'm just saying, these are just some of the things, you start seeing little slight things. And then as time goes on, as your estrogen levels drop more, then you begin to have more symptoms. Now, not every lady is created equal, and not every lady's going to experience their symptoms the same. You can have from almost non existing, very mild, to severe and debilitating. That's how wide of a spectrum we're talking about. And some of the our experience with this, studies are showing that it can be related to the trauma that we've experienced as we were younger. And so I wonder with that if it's because our nervous system is already overstimulated from the trauma of constantly being in that fight or flight state, and now this is disrupting us as well. So I wonder if we're already at that tipping point, and then this just tips us over. So yeah, this is, I think for a lot of us, I am 47, and I can remember when you hear about menopause, you just thought it was like hot flashes and like mood swings. That's it. So I didn't talk about this with my mom. I don't even remember really hearing about this in nursing school. And then now that I'm a nurse practitioner, I don't remember hitting on it much in school when I was a nurse practitioner. And it ain't been that long since I graduated. I finished in 21. So, and a lot of doctors are coming forth, and they're saying that they did not get any training or very minimal training in this space. So there wasn't a lot of studies done on women in menopause. It was kind of like, or perimenopause even too. You just go through it and deal with it. But there were women that were suffering in silence, and that should not be. So that's what this page is about. My motto is I'm Dimension of Wellness LLC. And there is, if you look up Dimension of Wellness, there are like 8 pillars, but this is, and there's so many different areas that you can go into, but this is what TLC, Tamara Lee Carter, Dimension of Wellness. And we don't have to do hormone replacement. Is We can make many lifestyle changes that can help us cope with the changes that our body go through. And so that's what I'm here for. That's what we're going to be discussing on this page. Feel free to shoot me a email if you have questions, or if you have something that you want to discuss on here. I'm hoping to in the near future, to be able to go live, and we can talk about this. This is going to be a safe space for us to talk about this. And I'm going to tell you, men, you can log into, because if you're married or you're with someone and you're with them long enough, you're going to experience it too. My husband experienced it along with me. He may not have had the symptoms, but he had to deal with the mood swings, the decreased libido, the depression, the anxiety. He had to deal with all of that too, along with your children. So I say talk about it. I am a talker. I like to talk things through. And it ain't saying you have to tell all your business, but just so they have an idea of what's going on, especially your spouse. Cuz one of the things I thought about is, when they talked about divorce, the divorce rate, and how it's a lot of women that initiate the divorce. And if you notice, sometimes a lot of these people are married 20, 30 years. And I had like an aha moment. I'm like, that will be the time that the woman is probably going through, and you become less tolerable of things. There's a beautiful lady on TikTok, and it's the We Do Not Care Club, and it's talking about women with perimenopause, and she put a comedic twist on it, but it's the truth because there's things that I'm less tolerable of than what I used to be, and for some ladies that include their marriage, and then maybe if they had the adequate support, that wouldn't be. So continue to follow me, share my page, tell other people about it. Let's do this. My plan is to post once a week, and then as I get more traffic or more people here, then I'll post more often. You guys have a blessed day, and please don't hesitate to send me an email, tlc@dimensionofwellnessllc.org. Have a blessed day.